There's like a common level of uncertainty with a lot of entrepreneurs, including myself. There's some anxiety, there's some panic. There's a losing of focus of what we think we do best slash where we want to go with our businesses or whatever impact we want to give. And I think this is leading to a point where, I don't know, I think a lot of us are adjusting or trying to kind of readjust what we're doing and the why behind what we're doing. All right, in today's world online, customers and everybody expect personalized support on every channel and in every way. They want it like done right now. But the problem is most solutions out there don't allow that to happen. They're not delivering. So your customer service reps are struggling to stay productive. And your customers, honestly, just aren't as happy as they probably once were. Now's the time to change that. This is exactly why there's a new AI-powered service hub from HubSpot. The service hub actually allows you to bring this type of level of service and success together for the first time so you can deliver on the expectations that people are expecting. And actually, it's boosting revenue along the way. The reps that are using Service Hub from HubSpot right now are reporting 13 times faster to help them resolve tickets. And also it helps them close something like 42% more tickets per day. So that basically means that you're also retaining people at a much higher rate. They're saying more than 80%. Not only that, you're getting this full 360 view of your customers in this smart CRM that basically helps and supports you in the marketing, sales, and service delivery and success of your team, but also making the experience much better for your customer, which boosts your revenue and your business growth. Go and visit HubSpot.com/service to learn how this all new solution can help you deliver for your customers. Hey, what's happening, y'all? This episode, I want to talk about what's alive and real. Like, not with only myself, but also what I'm hearing from a lot of entrepreneurs. So I just held a mastermind at Genius Network. That's Joe Polish's headquarters in Arizona, where he runs his what is it, $25,000 mastermind and his $100,000 mastermind. That's where he holds it. It's this epic place. If you ever get the opportunity to go there or even join Genius Network, I highly recommend it. What I did is I held a mastermind workshop with Mike Koenigs, my partner, on the AI side of things. It's where we're teaching business owners how to essentially scale what they're doing with themselves, productivity-wise, but their team, and then also scale what they're doing in their marketing, their media, and ultimately in their business to be a leader in their industry. And it's been really, really cool. I enjoyed doing it. It's what I kind of naturally do when I work with people anyway. And that's what we talk about a lot on the show. What I'm realizing is that there's like a common level of uncertainty with a lot of entrepreneurs, including myself. There's some anxiety, there's some panic. There's a losing of focus of what we think we do best slash where we want to go with our businesses or whatever impact we want to give. And I think this is leading to a point where, I don't know, I think a lot of us are adjusting or trying to kind of readjust what we're doing and the why behind what we're doing. So I wanted to talk about exactly that in this episode and give you some insights of how I'm thinking about things, what I heard in that room of 50 or so people all day long. It was like a 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. session. I mean, like Joe Polish was in there the whole time. There was a great interview with him and Mike. I facilitated that along with all these other people in the room, very high level entrepreneurs. And it's a very similar thing that's been talked about. And so let me relate it first to the podcast we just released on Tuesday, a couple days ago, with Tom Burns on the show. And we talked a lot about real estate and passive investing or passive income, growing financial wealth, which is you're going to see as a common thing on this show. Because personally, that's where I've been thinking is recalibrating away from the doing to earn to more of the passive wealth building. And there's a lot of ways to go about it. Real estate is one of them. You're going to hear about some other concepts that I'll bring on in the future as well. And I figured it was time for me to just kind of like give you a status update of where things are. And it's kind of like an amalgamation. Is that the word? I'm bringing everything together of what I'm kind of hearing and experiencing. And so Tom Burns, if you didn't listen to that episode, go do it. He's awesome. Great guy. Tons of wisdom. He was a doctor that earned, doctor wages, like really, really good earnings. And I've had a couple other doctors doing the similar thing where they reach a point in their life where they're just dissatisfied. They're not fulfilled for whatever reason, the North Star, whatever reason that got them into being a doctor, it shifted, or maybe it wasn't aligned in the first place, and that's kind of like the overarching thing here is like, what's your North Star? Do you know it? Do you know where you're headed and why you're doing what you're doing? And Tom realized he's dissatisfied, or he was, as a doctor, and he transitioned what he was doing. He basically got into real estate. He saw what was possible there and how that fed a lifestyle for him that was a lot more satisfying. His family, time with family was a big thing. It still is for him. And there's a lot of other benefits, tax advantages, wealth building for real estate. So we're not going to go down that path, but the big aha moment was like, hey, here's a guy who was a doctor that spent a lot of time to become a doctor and earned a lot of money. But there was a shift. There was this point where he just knew there was a disconnect and he needed to make the change, and he did. This goes to the concept of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki's book. That was the first book I read before I got into working for myself, when I was starting things out with Matt Wolf. And, I've talked about it before, that the purple book that changed everything from like this this employee mindset, dollar per hour, to then, business owner, but ultimately to the investor, where you are now able to invest and earn that way. Financial freedom happens when you're earning more like that passively than your expenses. And that's the holy grail, right? So, but how do you get there? How do you get there in what you're doing right now? Are there things to shift? Is the path that you're on right now going to allow you to get to that point? Or are you going to be burning out with your time for dollars kind of thing? And not saying it's a bad thing. Some people like it, but I'm sure that you can, adjust things depending on what your bigger goals are. So what are your bigger goals? I mean, just think about what that looks like. And just know that, Tom did this shift. I've done some shifts over the years, and a lot of other folks I've had on the show have done these tweaks to get to a point where they are aligned with whatever the North Star is, but also align that to what they're doing in the day to day. So for me, I'm doing a lot on the podcast. I'm doing a lot on consulting with folks, like I mentioned, and it's good. It's great. I have a lot of fun. Yet I know it's not a forever thing, at least on the dollar per hour consulting thing, for instance. I know there's a bigger why. For me, it's family. It's time with family. It's also the impact I can give to others, which I love. This podcast, it has this network effect. And you'll see topics change on here over the years, like it's happened already. But then I want to, the elephant in the room here is, I think technology and AI and all these things, they're changing so fast, where there's a common thing I've noticed in myself, in my partners, in the people I'm working with, clients, and also in that room I was at Genius Network just on Saturday, is there's this interesting anxiety, this almost panic mode that is starting to happen often. If you notice it, if you're getting real with yourself and if you're real with others, there's a lot of folks that are confused. And I think now is a really, really, really good time for all of us to audit what is going on. What's going on in your current reality? And how are you feeling about your business, but also just the state of things? How are you planning for the future? I know it's tough because technology is rapidly changing, and just with ChatGPT 4.0 rolling out, a few weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago at the time of this recording, that probably opened your eyes to a lot of possibilities of what's to come in just mere weeks and months that can revolutionize so many industries, but also kill a lot of businesses that started up in the last couple of years or so with AI, or even have been around in the past, because things will start to get automated. So it's like this wake up call, I feel like is happening, but it's like subtly happening and not totally talked about. I'm going to pause the episode really fast and shout out another show that's on the podcast network over at HubSpot. It's the audio destination for business professionals. This is Mistakes That Made Me. It's hosted by Iman Ismail. She is interviewing successful business owners and talking about, hey, what are those mistakes? What are the failures? What are the things that you hate to talk about that we can all learn from? I mean, like, let's be honest. Do you like to talk about your mistakes? Probably not. Well, that's what she's talking about. And it's going to be there. It is there waiting for you to listen so you can learn from those lessons and learn how to get past them or navigate around those big boulders on your own journey to success. So go listen to Mistakes That Made Me wherever you get your podcasts. Are you looking to earn more online? It's time to meet Kartra. It's your ultimate all-in-one business platform that makes it even easier to boost your income online. So with Kartra, creators, coaches, and experts can turn their knowledge and services into profits. You can create pages, funnels, and attract customers, build membership sites, and share your knowledge, automate your business so you can free up your time and do a whole bunch of other fun stuff. So Kartra has every tool you need to grow your business in one place. And the best part is that it's super affordable and easy to use. So now's the time to streamline and scale your biz. Head over to hustleandflowchart.com/Kartra and snag a free 30-day trial. Again, that's hustleandflowchart.com/KARTRA. I suggest to pay attention to what's happening in terms of technology rolling out, like be on top of the news. Go follow my boy, Matt Wolf. I'm going to have him on the podcast very soon. I think in 2 weeks we're recording. He's the number one guy to follow in terms of news for AI. Just find him out on YouTube. It's the best way to go, Matt Wolf. So you'll hear a similar sentiment. Him and I talk all the time. I just had a call the other night and talked about some of this. Like, man, there's some crazy stuff that's coming that's kind of unsettling. And most people aren't ready for it. And that was also what was talked about at Genius Network, at Joe Polish's place with Mike Koenigs, is like, we're all kind of feeling differently. We're acting differently with each other. We're even communicating differently. Technology does that to us. It's kind of like smartphones, change the way that we all communicate with each other. We don't really have these personal connections so much. So we're feeling disconnected. And I feel that way occasionally as well. Often, actually, and like, I think a lot of us might be feeling that way, but maybe we're not totally communicating or noticing it. But know that, like, there's a lot of folks that right now feel a little confused. And if you're one of those people, it's totally cool. It's okay, but it's time to do something about it. And I think this is where you need to audit and get real with yourself. Pen to paper, go on a walk, go ramble on a phone or something. But like, start questioning, why are you doing things? Like, what are you working towards? Is it aligned with what you really want? Or are you just doing it for some short-term thing? Think about where you want to take things. So, Tom talked about real estate. Well, that's a vehicle that you can use as leverage. It takes time. It's not overnight. But like, maybe that's something you want to start in process. That is something I'm doing here personally, and a few other things for kind of wealth alternative investing. So one of the things I'll leave you here is with Joe Polish. He has this saying that's an elf business. He loves elf businesses and to do stuff that are easy, lucrative, and fun. So maybe that's the mental model here that you can kind of do your audit through, is like, are things that you're doing, are they easy? Are they lucrative? Are they actually making money for you? And are they fun? Because I'm starting to check myself a lot on all walks of life on what I'm doing here, including the podcast, the people I'm working with, the partners I'm working with. Is it all aligned with this North Star, which it's family is a big piece, especially in this season of my life. Is what I'm doing now to further them in the experiences I want to give my family, is what I'm doing easy, lucrative, and fun? And if it's not, should I continue doing it? Should you continue doing those things? Because let's be honest. I mean, life is short and we only have one of them as far as I know, but who knows? Maybe there's future lifetimes. I don't know. Cheers out. I haven't experienced those, or maybe I have, I don't remember them. But point is, the stuff we control here on this plane where we're at now. Um, do you feel like you want to kill yourself in the process? I mean, like, and I don't say that as a pun. I mean, my father took his life, and I know it's a thing that's on the rise as well. There's a lot of I don't know the stats right now, but entrepreneurship, I know there's a lot of folks who feel very pressured to, like, they put a lot on their backs. You might be feeling that way where you work really hard because you're trying to serve something, someone, get to a goal. But like, if it doesn't shake out, or if it doesn't work out, or if something like AI or technology totally takes over the industry that you're in, or maybe eliminates what you do, because this is a very common thing I hear in conversations with clients is like, man, ChatGPT is going to take my job. Well, maybe a variation or a part of it, but also, the more you learn and the more you structure and maybe leverage technology or go deeper on a specific niche within, the tech that someone else can't serve with a community, like, is a good hint. Then it's just a time to start thinking about all this stuff. And I think of the pressures, the mental health side of the impacts of what this time can be for not only myself, but for others around me. I'm seeing it. And this is what I wanted to communicate and more or less put in your mind and use it as a mental model that you can now go on a walk, or maybe you're already on there, or do a drive and start to think about these things. But more than that, get out of your head and put it on paper, or use a tool like the Oasis. I've said it before, and I say it often, but like, use a tool that captures your thoughts, the things that are swirling around that might drive you nuts, or maybe you haven't totally formed an action plan with it. Pen to paper is great. That's the classic way. Gets you to slow down your thoughts, and I recommend it. And then secondary is to use an app like the Oasis. Cast Magic also has a variation of that app where you can whip out your phone and talk right into it, and it's going to capture your thoughts. So you can A, capture your thoughts, but then B, you have outputs on what to do with those thoughts. It like structures them into a format for you. So that's what I got as I just dropped something on the floor there. Go ahead and go do your thing, and go audit yourself. Go on that walk, go on that drive, and start to think about, what is your North Star? Are you aligned with that North Star, would be kind of step 2. And then what are you going to do about it? And remember the easy, lucrative, and fun. I think that's, as a core, it sounds maybe pie in the sky, haha, but it's possible. It's possible. And it's up to us to make these changes. No one else is going to do it. And in a world that's rapidly changing, we got to do it now because we can't keep up with it. Like, as human, we're simpletons now. The AI is way smarter, or at least way quicker than we are. So control what you can control inside yourself. All right. On that note, reach out to me if you have any questions at all. Joe at hustleandflowchart.com, and also go to hustleandflowchart.com/one-thing, ONE thing. And just tell me what you want to learn. I'm constantly looking at that. My team is as well, and plucking different little ideas for us to make episodes around. And also, please go and leave a review. I want to hear what you're thinking on whatever channel you're on, whatever you're listening to or watching this podcast. Go leave a review and hit subscribe. But more or less, hit that, or I want to see the review and see your feedback. So I'll be looking out there. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I will catch you next time. Leave that in. Why not? Tongue tied at the end. All right. See y'all.